Hello YouTube, hello, and we're back again as always, of course, with my theme song playing in the background, just how it is. So today we're gonna be not mentioning, but we're gonna talk about how to improve in each rank. So yeah, I'm not gonna delay much longer. Let's actually talk about it almost immediately. Let's talk about it from beginner rank, so how you start at the game, from up to Garyu. So that's a lot of ranks that I skipped, but there's a lot of gradual progression up to Garyu that you'll be able to reach, and I'll be mentioning, obviously. Okay, first, you're a beginner. You're a noob. So what do you learn? Buttons. What do they do? 1, 2, 3, 4. Why are these weird numbers? Right? 1, square. 2, triangle. 3, X. And 4, circle. Whatever controller you use, it depends. So left punch, left kick, right kick. Right? That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Learn what they are. What the combinations mean. Down forward 1 means down forward 1 means down forward and 1 at the same time. Right? What do they mean? Okay, simple. This is not too hard to learn. It might take a little bit to get used to it, but that's how it is. Learn notations. Next, high, mid, low. What are they? That's a high, right? That's a mid. That's a low. These are different properties in Tekken. A high is usually a move that hits their face. Usually, right? There's some other highs as well. A mid is usually a move that hits their body, and low is usually a move that hits their legs. So, yeah, what are they? So, high usually are fast buttons. Usually, mids a little bit on the slower side, but they're fast as well. Some of them. And low, they're just buttons that hit their legs. Usually, they're slower as well. But yeah, these are different properties, and why do these different properties matter? Right? There are also two others, which are special mids and special lows. Right? That's a special low. S low means special low. There's also a special mid. They don't have much difference. Don't ask me the difference. Even I don't know. But yeah, basically, it's them. These are these. So yeah, understand them a little bit, but basic understanding, it's this. Next, and if you want to understand them, you also have to understand this: how to block in Tekken. So blocking in Tekken is very simple. You can hold back, so the back button, just hold it, and you're gonna be blocking highs and mids. So let me just demonstrate that. Right now, Jin is basically holding back. Every high I do, every mid that I do, he is blocking it. Right? He can literally not get hit by any of my highs or any of my mids. No matter what I do, he's gonna be blocking it. There we go. Right, you hold back, you block all highs, all mids. Simple for now. Now, lows. They will get hit by lows. He is blocking right now, but he's getting hit by lows. This is how you hit someone if they're just doing this. They're just doing this, you hit someone with the lows. You just use the low, right? This is like one of the things that you have to learn about how to use different properties to open someone up, but whatever, right? Okay, first understand this. Now, how do I block lows? If you want to block low, you have to crouch, like this, right? If you want to block a low, he's just crouching. Okay, that's crouch blocking. There we go. Crouching and blocking. Now he's blocking lows. Now, what does crouching do? What is this? So this is a different state. Normal is blocking like standing, and also blocking if you're holding back. Second is this. Right, this is basically down back. This is how you do it. Don't just press down back. So down and block at the same time. So yeah, important. This is how you block lows, but also important, this is how you avoid highs. So highs, let's say, are usually moves that hit their face while they're standing. They're too high up, so they won't hit them. Like this, for example, a jab, a 4, a back 4. These are all highs. They'll miss, right? If someone's ducking. But while they are ducking, they cannot block mids. So if you do a mid, like these ones, they'll always get hit if they are ducking, right? So the weakness of standing are lows, and weakness of crouching are mids. Remember this. You might have a question that what are highs for? Highs are usually for the speed, and sometimes for other properties as well, but let's not get into it too much. Okay, this, important, right? How blocking works and how it is. Now, attack properties. This is also very, very important because I mentioned this sometimes. I mentioned blocking and getting hit. Right? These are two properties that attack can be in. There's also a third one. So 3 attack properties that you have to remember. 1, getting hit. Right? Simple. They got hit. Right? This is the property of a move when you hit someone. Right? Like for example, Jin is touching his stomach and doing whatever. Right? There we go. And if a jab, he doesn't do much. He takes his face like this, hit property. Now, block property. Now, that's different. This is a block property. Hands like this, blocking, right? Block property of a move. This, different block property, this, different block property. Every move has different hit and block properties, right? Okay, just understand this. You don't have to learn what each move actually does when it comes to on hit or block or whatever, but just know that they have different properties, right? These are two. But the third one I also want to talk about is a counter hit. So a counter hit, what is a counter hit? So normal hit is this, right? You just hit them. Normally you just hit them. But some moves also have counter hit properties. So a counter hit is when you hit someone like this in the middle of them pressing something. So if they're pressing something, like say this gym player does that, right? He's doing 4-4-3. Doesn't matter what that move is, he's just doing something. And if you press in the middle of that, it's gonna say counter near Garyu right there, right? It does say it. So that's a counter hit. Before they finish their move, you hit them. That's a counter hit. And different moves have a different counter properties. Some of them don't have any. Like this one, for example, is this on normal hit and on counter hit. It's exactly the same. It does not have a counter property. Some moves do have a counter property. Example, down forward 2, right? That's a normal hit. As I explained, this is his normal hit property. That's why it does a normal hit. It just, you know, hits the stomach. But on counter hit, this is why it does on counter hit. And this is what we call a combo starter, right? A combo starter is something that you can combo afterwards. Those are combo starters. Pretty simple, right? And there are two kinds of combo starters. Normal hit combo starters and countered combo starters. That's why I need to explain this. So a countered combo starter is something like this, right? This only does this on counter hit, but doesn't do that on normal hit, right? You can't combo it normally. On counter hit, you can. So that's why this is important. And if it's something that's fast, like this one, it's pretty fast, right? It's not slow. A fast counter hit combo starter is very useful. Okay, now you understand all of this, right? Now, for you to reach Garyu, this is a lot of knowledge stuff. What do you have to do? What you have to do is learn a combo starter. Either a counter hit one or a normal hit one. And the faster it is, the better. Like for your character, learn a combo starter. And when you learn a combo starter, let's say for Gaz, down forward 2, that's counter hit combo starter, right? If you have a normal hit one that's also fast, that's great. And you have to learn it. So just do that button, you know, press that button, right? And do it a lot because that has what we call a high reward. It will deal the most damage. Because if you pay attention, this deals, if you see Jin's health bar, some damage, right? It does some damage. But if I do a counter hit, let's say this is a combo starter. So if you do a good combo, let's say you do something like this, obviously this is a hard combo. Look at the difference between the health bar between hit and counter hit, right? A big difference. Obviously you won't be doing this kind of combos, but still, right? And still, the big difference, that's why they're important. Now, one thing before I go to actual combos, I did say to use combo starters, but before I do actual combos, I want to talk about the block property first. So when you block something, general rule here, right? I'm not going to be talking about frames. Frames are important, but not yet. When you block something, let's say you block something, general rule is you can press back immediately if you press something fast, but you can't press back immediately if you press something slow. For example, if you do this and press this is a countered combo starter, right? But I also said that this is fast. So pressing this is not bad at all. Not bad immediately, by the way. Right? Don't hesitate and to, you know, delay and hit it later. Immediately press it when you block. This is gonna be a little bit hard to understand, but you can do this, right? And if you do something faster based on your eyesight, right? This is how you see speed for now, before you learn frames. Is just do some stuff that's fast. That's gonna be fine. But if you do something that's too slow, for example, like this, that's pretty slow. Or if you do something, I don't know, this, that's pretty slow as well. What's usually going to happen is your opponent's gonna hit you before the move comes out because it's slow. So as a general rule, this is just good to understand. So yeah, there we go. Now let's talk about combos. So one thing I told you guys is to learn a combo starter. So one combo starter that's either a normal hit combo starter or a counter hit combo starter. Doesn't matter which kind, just use one. Counter hits are gonna be a little bit harder to do, so it's better to have a normal hit combo starter, but whatever, right? You can use both, depending on your character. Now, use that move, and whenever you get that combo starting property, you have to learn the combo from that one move. Memorize it, right? So do a simple combo that's not hard to do. and it does okay damage for you, right? The damage is not that bad. So you don't have to do hard stuff. For example, the combo I showed, you don't have to do it. Like this, into let's say something like this, right? This is a very, very simple combo that you can do. You can just search for your character on YouTube, right? Or watch anyone and copy their combos or see what simple combos they have. But one thing I have to mention is that for combos, it's important to realize that there are two properties, not properties, but two things that you have to learn. So when it comes to combos, you have to learn what a tornado is. A tornado is basically a combo extender. This move. There are certain moves in this game that tornado. So you do this after a combo starter, and then they have that weird animation, right? When they fly weirdly and their legs are up, this is a tornado. That's why it's called. And when you do this tornado, afterwards, what we call it is a combo ender. So this is an extender and then an ender, right? It's pretty easy to keep up. Combo starter is something that gives you a combo, as I already explained. A combo extender is what we call a tornado, which continues the combo further. And then ender is after tornado. Basically, you just hit them after you tornado them. So you do this, tornado, and then combo ender, you hit them after you tornado them. Right? So these are the three parts of the combo. Just understand it, you don't have to really go too much deep into it, but this is how a basic combo structure works in Tekken. Right, this is going to be a little bit closer when you reach Garyu, so this is going to be good for you to know. So learn one combo. And if you're really into it, you don't have to really learn this, but if you're really into it, learn a basic wall combo as well. So combo can happen either outside of the wall like this, or near the wall. Right? For example, when you are near the wall, like very near the wall, something like this, right? If you do the same combo starter, exactly the same thing, you'll know that some combos that you do in the neutral, like in the normal open field, won't really work at the wall. So if you're really into it, you don't have to learn this right now. At the Garyu ranks, it's a little bit better to learn this, but basically, if you want to learn this, you can. Because a simple wall combo is something you can do while they are basically at the wall. Right? You do this, and instead of your normal combo ender, that's why I mentioned those, right? Instead of a combo ender, you use a wall combo. A wall combo is also an ender. It's a wall combo ender. Because they're flat at the wall, and you do a wall combo instead. That's it. It's that simple. Just learn one simple wall combo. Doesn't need to be anything too fancy. Like for odds, down forward or plus 4. And use that. Sometimes, by the way, some different properties are in Tekken. Tekken's a complicated game. Sometimes it might not work. But yeah, at least you know it. Okay. That's about it. I know the beginning ranks is going to be more complicated. That's why it took so long. But now we're at red ranks. Yay, finally, Garyu, I guess, right? So we're at Garyu. So in Garyu, this is important. You have to start learning and understanding the concept of frames a little bit, right? This is where you start. You don't have to use them, but start a little bit. So I'm gonna make it very, very brief. So frames, you have first, number one thing, have these boxes in practice mode. So go in display settings and all of these info, player, opponent infos, turn them on. Right, and have these boxes. Pay attention to the lower box right here. When some attack startup frames, that's the speed of a move. If it's 10, right, and the lower it is, it's fast. If it's high, it's slow. For example, 15 is slower than 10. Simple. There we go. That's the speed of a move. Whatever move you do, always will have some kind of speed. Okay, now, frame advantage. What is plus frame, minus frame? Do not pay attention to your other opponent's box in there. Pay attention to your own box. So when it says plus 8 here, this means that your next move that you do immediately afterwards is 8 frames faster. So whatever number there is gonna be that much faster. For example, 8 frames faster, the next move that you do. This is 8 frames faster. 2 frames faster. If you do 2 moves exactly immediately after each other, after a plus frame, your next move is gonna be faster. So, for example, this into this, right? Down forward 1 into down forward 2. It says plus 9, and immediately I did a 14 frame startup. If you pay attention to this box, right? That means that your 14 frame move now becomes 9 frames faster, which means 19 minus 4. Right now it's 5 frames fast. So that's why it's so important to understand how plus frames work. If you are plus, your next move comes out faster. It's that simple. Don't pay attention to Jin's minus frames. Pay attention to your own plus frames, right? That simple. Now, when it comes to minus frames, it's the opposite. Your next move is going to be slower. For example, usually, by the way, rule of thumb, when you block something, when your opponent blocks something, like for example, when your opponent blocks something, you're usually minus. Like if you make someone block, like for example, like make someone block something, you are usually minus, usually, right? I'm gonna talk about this a little bit later as well, but yeah, for example, -3 means that next move you do, let's say I do this into down forward 2, this move, which is 14, it's gonna be 3 frames slower, right? So now it's 17 instead of 14. There we go, simple. That's it. That's about frames. If you want a little bit more in-depth guide about it, I did make a video about it in my previous vid. It's more or less complicated, but if you want anything in-depth, it's there. Okay, next thing I also want to talk about though, just to understand a little bit, as I said, you don't have to use this, it's more about understanding, is the fastest movement Tekken is 10 frames, which is a jab, 10, right? And when something goes over -10, so I already explained minus frames, right? This, for example, is -10. If something is -10, you actually can get free attacks on them. This is what we call a punish, right? For example, if I block something like this, and it's -10, right now the Jin, since Jin blocked something that's -10, right? Or he was +10, let's say, that's just how it works. Okay, make it too complicated. Basically, if it's -10, it's punishable, which means you can get a free hit based on how much minus it is. If it's -10, you get a free 10 hit, not 10 hit, 10 frame rate, 10 startup frame, which is a jab. If it's -11, you get a free 11. If it's -12, you get a free 12. Whatever. If it's -1,000,000, you can do whatever you want and they can't block it. That's what a punish is, right? So, yeah, just understand this concept. You don't need to use it yet. There we go. Basic frames. And my 20-minute vid I made basically dropped down to like 2 or 3 minutes. There we go. Now, other stuff that's also important in raid ranks is for you to refine whatever you learned before and make your combos a little bit better, right? Make them slightly better. Maybe do more damage, maybe more wall carry, let's say, and stuff like that. And the other thing you also have to know is there are 2 different kinds of combo enders. Understand this, right? And this is gradual, by the way, right? This is gradual progression, the way I'm saying this, just so you get better and better gradually, and all of this will be useful even in the highest ranks. So 2 combo enders. One combo ender is something that will... Wait. There we go. So one combo ender is after a tornado, as I said, that's a combo ender. When you do it, they will slide down the wall pretty damn fast, right? They will just slide down the wall. So, for example, if I do this ender, they will slide down the wall pretty damn fast, right? The second kind of ender is an ender that makes them not slide down the wall fast, but make them stick to it. So this, you can tell, they are sticking to it. So this ender is different from the other one. So basically differentiate these 2 enders. If you use this ender at the wall, you'll have time to hit them again at the wall, which I already explained, wall combos, right? You do this, now you can get close to them in the same situation, and whenever they are splatted at the wall, you can use your wall combo, which is this, and you will deal way more damage. But if you use the second type of combo, you won't, because they don't get splatted normally, right? So if you find your combo ender that splats them well, and you have a little bit of wall awareness, a little bit, right? You don't have to have too much, you're still in red ranks, but this you just have to start thinking about, so you get better and better the more you play. There we go, right? You have more damage now, and you'll win more. Easy, right? It is that easy. I mean, obviously, it's pretty hard. But yeah, obviously not, I mean. It is hard. But yeah, basically understand this, and usually also, rule of thumb, most combo enders that push them high up in the air, like for example what I showed, I did this, right? It pushes them pretty high up. Usually they splat them well. And it's some that don't push them high up, like if you use, let's say, this move, it doesn't splat them too high up. It just goes linearly, horizontally, not vertically up, right? So, yeah. Okay, so this is more or less about Garyu, more or less, even if you just refine all of the stuff I talked about before, without adding all the stuff I said right now, it's gonna be, I think you'll be able to read the purple ranks as well, but as I said, gradual improvement. It's gonna be better the more you slowly improve, because, you know, if you want to reach higher ranks, obviously. Now, purple ranks. So purple ranks, this is where you want to learn your frames a little bit better. So in purple ranks, your frames will be your best friend. It will be your best friend. You'll be able to win pretty easily if you use frames well. So what do I mean by use frames well? I already talked about plus frames and minus frames, right? I said that you don't need to use them, but now you can use them well. So what you have to pay attention to. Pay attention to one of your moves, at least one, right? Multiple will be great, but at least one that gives you plus frames on a block property, right? So whenever they block it, so it shows plus for you. For example, Garyu is +4 after this move, right? Find a move like this, a high or a mid like this. Preferably mid. High can work as well, but preferably a mid. So find something like this and use it so they block it, so you're a plus. I already explained that after you press a button, after you're plus, the next button is gonna be faster, right? So that's why you do this into usually a combo starter, right? In Kazuya's case, down forward 2, which is a countered combo starter. So you just do this into this, right? And this will work because they actually can't press anything here. As I said, you're plus. Your next move, which is down forward 2, becomes from 14 to 10, because this is +4, becomes 10. As I already mentioned, 10 is the fastest move in Tekken, right? Exceptions, but general rule. This will counter them, which you want because it's a countered combo starter, and then you can combo them, right? So, yeah, great to know stuff like this. Second thing, this is a mid, right? Try to find a low that does the same thing, like a low that gives plus frames. For example, for us, it's down back 4. This gives +4 just like this. So you don't have to think about it too much, and after this, you just press the same button, right? Down forward 2. If they press, you get countered, you get a free combo. And also, this is very important, that you have to continue refining all of the stuff I said. For example, your combos have to start getting better slowly but surely. You have to understand the walls a little bit better, so you start dealing more damage as well. And when you start using this, right, you have to get slowly better at this as well. But as I said, in Mighty Ruler, you start using this right now, more or less, right? So yeah, use frames better. Also, important to know that whenever you block something, I already mentioned this, right? Let's say Jin does a button. Usually, you're plus in this situation. So they are minus, but you're plus in this situation. So you can use that frame thingy I talked about when you're plus, but instead of you doing the move, they're doing a move and you're just blocking it. Right? You're blocking it, now you press this, your counter it button, right? So when you block a move, you can just press your counter it button or a normal hit button, right? A normal hit combo starter. And then you do your combo. That's why I said to you have to learn one combo before Garyu, and just be, you know, consistent with it or comfortable with it. But in Garyu and Mighty Ruler, refine it, make it better, and maybe, you know, learn some other combo starters as well. That would be good too. But yeah, extra steps. But now in Mighty Ruler, just knowing this will be enough for you to move on and on. Also, disclaimer. We're going to be reaching blue ranks right now, right? But in my opinion, from Garyu to blue ranks, there are a lot of ways to reach it in a cheesy way without improving later on much. That's why I'm not saying those ways, but I'm going to be quick about this. You can use throws. They're not going to be breaking these, right? To very, very easily just hit them for free damage. They won't be breaking these throws. The other thing you can do to cheese them is strings. A string in Tekken is moves that are like 2 or 3 hits. Right? Basically, use moves that have a lot of hits. Like, for example, this. That's 3 hits, right? Why? Because people usually are not patient in lower ranks. So after they block 2, they will get hit by the 3rd one. All this, they'll get hit by the 3rd one, right? All this, they'll get hit by the 3rd one and maybe the 4th one. So this is how to cheese, but it's not gonna help you build too many good habits, right? Like, strings have a usage, but for now, you know, cheese strats. Okay, let's forget about the cheese strats. We're at blue ranks now. So blue ranks is the hardest part, in my opinion, to, not the hardest, but it's gonna take the most time to get out of. So everything that I said right now, you have to refine them further and further. Your combos have to start looking good. You have to reach the wall. Your wall awareness has to get better and stuff like that. And when it comes to blue ranks, this is when punishment becomes a thing. I mentioned punishment before, right? I did mention it. And this is when you have to learn how to punish, and your opponents will also learn how to punish. You're gonna get punished on some stuff. I also mentioned that if something is minus 10, 11, 12, or lower, these are punishable. So if you move your combo starter, let's say with Gaz, you're doing this, right? This right here. If they do block it, they block this, it's minus 12, you might get punished now. As I said, you're minus 12, you can't block since you're more than minus 10. Well, less than minus 10. You understand what I mean? So be careful about the moves that you throw out. You can still throw them out, but understand what punishable means now. And you might get punished now. And you also have to start punishing other people's moves. This is when you start understanding punishment and start understanding frames way better than normal. But I told you guys to understand it and start understanding it from Garyu, so it gets easier as time progresses, right? As the ranks progress and your skill level progresses. Okay, so you start basically punishing stuff. Use your frame traps still, not frame traps. So whenever I said to use a plus frame move into button, that's what we call a frame trap. Maybe you'll understand that term now. I didn't mention it, but now you'll understand the term. It's a frame trap, plus frame into a button, and do that more. It's still gonna work, but be a little bit more careful about it. Be a little bit more mindful about it, right? Maybe you'll learn movement a bit better, like you learn how to backdash a bit better, sidestep a bit better, right? And in these ranks, by the way, excuse me, it's gonna be good for you to understand what characters' weak sides are. Like, I don't really believe in their weak side. It's more of a per move basis, in my opinion. But as a blue rank, you can learn someone's weak sides. For example, if you play against gods, you can learn to sidestep or sidewalk left. It's gonna be useful for you. This is when you first start using movement, more or less, on a little bit of an efficient way, at least a little bit, right? So start using movement a bit, start using backdashes a bit, and also, this is very important, learn the rock, paper, scissors of Tekken. Right? This is when you have to first start thinking about it anyway, because it's gonna be useful very, very, very later as well. So the rock, paper, scissors of Tekken is pretty simple. So think of a rock as, let's say, mix-up buttons and mix-ups. Think of paper as keep out buttons. A keep out button is someone pressing something just so the opponent can come closer. The word says itself, right? Keep out button. That's paper. And think of scissors as a defensive movement. Well, defense and with punishment, basically, right? That's scissors. So if you put the roles of rock, paper, scissors in there, you know, rock beats scissors, scissors beat paper. That's how it works. That's literally how it works. And just understand this and know your moves and which one does which. So if you want to know your mix-up moves, find your mix-up moves. Let's say Garyu has a hell sweep, which is, you know, the most obvious mix-up move. But if you want to make the mix-up, you have to use mids now. Maybe use, you know, this move, use this move, use this move. Mids, right, to mix it up. So that's what a mix-up is. Find your keep-out move. Everyone has at least one of these, by the way, every character. So find it. Keep-out move for Gaz can be a jab or an electric. Back at electric. Electric, right? Electrics are hard, but this is when you'll start understanding, if you play a Mishima, that electrics are actually very useful and you have to learn them, more or less, right? And start to learn them, because as I said, in higher levels, all of this will be useful. Now, the next one is defensive whiff punishment. Your whiff punishment moves usually are moves that have that are fast-ish, right? They have to be fast-ish, at least. Like, if it's lower than 17 or 17, that's already decent, it's not that bad. And if they have a good range, that's also good. Like, for example, you can use this, which is 17, as a whiff punisher. And the whiff is usually if they miss an attack. That's a whiff. And you hit them as a punish. The best whiff punishment, although, are combo starters, obviously. So if they whiff a move, you're gonna press the button. I don't know why I did that. Like, let's say he whiffed the move, right? Like this. And you do a button to punish them, right? This is still a punish, but this is what we call a whiff punishment. And this is what we call defense, right? So defense beats keep out, because if they want to keep you out, they're usually going to press a button without you doing anything, right? Let's say that he uses this as a keep out, and you sidestep away from it. Now you can punish it with anything you want, basically, right? But the best whiff punishment is obviously a launcher, like an electric. So this is why the rock, paper, scissors is going to be important for you to at least think about. So learn your whiff punishment moves as well, and if you learn the movement, I already talked about movement, to sidestep this way or the other way, it's gonna be very, very useful, and you're gonna be jumping the rank, basically. Right? As I said, this is gonna take time. I think this will take the most time until Tekken King, anyway. But yeah, now we did all this. Right? We did all this. We'll learn the rock, paper, scissors. We learned our mix-up moves. We learned our combos are better. We learned how to combo into a wall, into whatever. Everything is better, right? As I said, you have to keep refining them, and we understand frames and how they work, more or less anyway, right? Not perfectly, but more or less we find it fine. Now we're in the big boy league, Tekken King. Now Tekken King, I know this is a long way, but I'm talking about all of this. So, alright, Tekken King. Now this is where it gets hard. Okay, it's been hard before too. Pause. But now it's very hard. Pause on that too. But yeah, in Tekken King ranks, this is the situation that you'll face. You might face a lot of strong players and a lot of players that are cheesing as well. Because cheesing, I already explained it, is via strings or via throws, let's say. Some might even, do power crushes. Power crush is also something that's a little bit more cheesy. You might find them as well in these ranks. Or you might find a pro player here that's trying to play his sub character, let's say, or trying to learn a new sub character. Now, the pro player thing, a lot of people say, oh, it's horrible, I get to play against pro players. This is actually great if you want to improve at the game. If you want to improve at the game, the number one thing you have to do in these ranks, by the way, is whenever you face a very good player in these ranks, let's say a pro player and the sub character, the number one thing you have to do is go to your replays, see what they did to you. What did they do to you? Because they did something to you, let me tell you that. But what did they do? How did they beat you? You made some mistakes, 100%. And this is the easiest way you can see them, because they will exploit them. They will exploit those mistakes and you will learn from that. So this is the rank that the replay function is going to be the most useful. It's going to be great even in Fujin and Tekken King. I mean, even in Fujin, but this is going to be the most useful. And that's why I first started mentioning the replay function. But this is also when you start actually thinking about matchups a little bit more specifically. Like, for example, you have to punish everything a little bit more. Like from Tekken King to God, let's say, you can't make punishment mistakes. So whiff punishment mistakes is fine. You can't whiff punish everything. But block punishment mistakes, it's gonna be you shouldn't be making too much of them. Basically, if something's punishable, you 100% have to punish them. If something is launchable, you still 100% have to launch them. Especially if you play a character that has a easy launching button, right? For example, if you can't electric someone, that's fine. But if you have to launch them with, let's say, a hop kick, a 15 frame down forward 2, let's say, or something like that, right? So always pay attention to stuff like this, and whenever we don't do it, that's a mistake. So there we go, you have to get better there, right? Always launch them, always punish them, at least a little bit. Even in the whip punish, it would be great. So pay attention to your mistakes, pay attention to them. If you like using lows a little bit too much, or using punishable buttons a little bit too much, you will also lose because of that. That's why the replay function is so useful. You'll see your own mistakes. Okay, I'm using this move which is punishable and I'm getting punished like on 10 times a match, 10 times a round, let's say, right? Now that's a problem. So the better you get at the game, you'll see that, oh, I'm making these mistakes, I'll get better. And when you start playing more and more, you'll also understand that the mistakes you are making, maybe others are making the same thing. And if you see the same thing, now you'll beat them. Right? Now you're gonna be beating them. But the more you play and more you understand the game, you also see what we call patterns. Right? You know the frame traps we talked about, do this into that? Other people do that as well. And you'll see that way more because you're used to them by now in Tekken King ranks. And when you see them, you'll know I won't press into it anymore. Because whatever they did is plus and they're trying to kill me. They're trying to use that frame trap thing that I know against me. So now you know. Now you know. You're not gonna do that. So in these ranks up to God, it's gonna be a very, very hard climb, because as I said, you're gonna be going up against very good players. There are a lot of cheesy strats, a lot of power crush spams, let's say a lot of moves that just home on you, a lot of things that might not work even if you try to sidestep stuff. But this is where you have to persevere and just keep on doing. And if you have a pattern recognition unlocked, the more you play, it will just become a thing. You will actually be able to punish their mistakes a lot more and climb to Tekken God more easily. And then after Tekken God, even in God. But God, now that's where things start complicated. But as I said before this, I've said this multiple times, refine everything that I've said. Better combos, better wall carry, better wall combos. Learn what other stuff are in combos as well. This is all simple explanations. I'm not saying everything, right? Even though it's a long bit. And learn what, let's say, Oki is. Learn what the function of lows can be. Learn what tracking means and what tracking moves are and how to use them. This is God ranks. This is not a joke anymore. This is a hard rank. A lot of people really want to be at this rank as well. So this is hard. It's not easy. Learn all of this. Learn matchup stuff. For example, learn how to use tracking moves against Lily. Learn how to sidestep left against Kaz and specific stuff like that. Or many things. God ranks and even close Supreme God is gonna be hard. But now let's talk about the later ranks. God to God Infinity, which is basically the 8 ranks after it, if I remember correctly, something along those lines. But God, if you reach that rank and you want to reach higher, good luck. Okay, that's all I have to tell you, because everyone is trying to improve. Right now I'm God 3 myself in ranked with Gaz, which I am proud of, obviously, but everyone's trying to improve. Everyone's trying to improve, and these are the ranks when you're gonna start saying the same people over and over again, by the way. If you reach God 1 specifically, so you're gonna see, oh, this guy again, oh, this guy again, oh, this character again. It's gonna be exactly like that. And these ranks, if you want to get better, there's only one advice I can give you, which is like not that complicated anyway. I don't want to make this like 20 more minutes. Is just play a lot more. Learn how to play and beat the characters that you encounter the most, because as I said, you're gonna play against the same guys and the same characters mostly. Anyway, right? So play more. All the knowledge that you had till now, use it. Use the replay function if you want to get better when it comes to your mistakes or your opponent's mistakes. If you want to see patterns better, stuff like that, right? And you're gonna climb. It's just a matter of time. Also, important to say, Tekken is a very, very hard game. It's not an easy game at all. So do not rush all of the stuff that I talked about right now. I wanted to make this vid. It was way longer than I thought it was gonna be. Maybe I thought maybe half an hour, but whatever, right? So hopefully whatever I said here was helpful. Maybe I missed some stuff. Maybe I didn't say some stuff, but hopefully it was helpful, at least in some way. Some tips for each rank color and each ranks as well. So yeah, everyone, thanks for watching, and I'll see everyone in the next one. Till then.